Good morning. I will do my very best to get us back on track. It's my pleasure to be here this morning, and as we considered the invitation and reviewed the conference program, I have to say that we really welcome the opportunity to talk about our Green Schools strategy. We've been ramping it up over the last couple of years, and as Minister Smith just said, as part of the last provincial budget, we received a significant amount of funding to create environmentally friendly learning spaces to reduce energy use and greenhouse gas emissions, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But I really do want to talk about our Green School strategy, which is reducing the carbon footprint of every school in Ontario through both design, construction, and renewal, and energy management operations and maintenance. A little bit of background about education. We have 4,900 open and operating schools in Ontario. That's 4,000 elementary schools and 900 secondary schools, as well as 150 administration buildings in a large number of Ontario municipalities. Energy costs in elementary and secondary schools are significant, approximately $459 million per year. And many, many schools need energy retrofits, new windows, new roofs, new boilers. We also have more than 10,000 portables currently in use, and many of them are not as energy efficient as we'd like them to be. But we're also building 35 to 40 new schools every year in Ontario. And the reality is that the education sector, with almost 2 million students, will be in the facilities business for the long haul. So, in terms of design, construction, and renewal, the ministry last fall announced a 7% increase in our benchmarks, and part of that was to recognize that additional funds were needed to support energy efficiency and green building elements in new school construction. We established an expert panel on capital standards. This is composed of senior school board officials who have really significant experience in building schools, and we're tapping into their expertise to get their advice on new school design and construction standards, including the identification of a number of leading green practices. Last fall, we also announced that we had a Green Schools pilot initiative worth $20 million. We partnered with the Ministry of Research and Innovation to identify companies who are in the process of developing new and innovative green technologies, and this pilot will provide them with a real-world demonstration to enable local and global expansion, because this is an additional sector, since one of the criteria required is that their products and technology be in less than 200 schools in the province. This will also allow school boards to purchase, demonstrate, and test green products and technologies, and we're in the process of reviewing applications now, and there are a couple that relate to biomass, which I'm pleased to be able to say. So when you combine the pilots with the energy efficient school funding, you can see how school boards are well positioned to be an early client of new renewable green technology. As Minister Smith mentioned, announced in the budget $550 million in various parts, investments in operational efficiencies for energy audits and studies, and purchase of technology that reduces energy use, for investments in small equipment that help boards monitor, control, and reduce energy usage, a significant amount of money to replace, renew, and install energy efficient building components such as HVAC systems, boilers, and windows. These are for schools that are above average energy users, and renovations and retrofits for existing schools to help us right-size schools in the province. And we approved 35 projects for 20 boards earlier this year. And we have also announced, Minister Smitherman announced in May $50 million for renewable energy funding in schools. This is to be allocated to boards to purchase and install technologies for heating, cooling, and generating electricity for projects to be completed in the next couple of years. We've had lots of feedback from school board officials that they appreciate the amount of money being invested and the positive impact it will have in reducing the carbon footprint of schools right across the province. In addition, our regular capital budget is also fairly significant. We provide Ontario schools with high renewal needs and replacement facilities, $350 million recently. These funds were all allocated in June. And we anticipate 45 projects for 30 school boards to be constructed, open, and operating by the 2011-12 school year. So it's not just design and construction, it's also about the existing schools. All schools have to develop an energy management plan and annual reduction targets as part of the Green Energy Act. We've created a number of initiatives to assist boards in doing that. A utility consumption database will be completed within the next 2 years, and this will allow school boards to track electricity and natural gas consumption in Ontario schools and administrative buildings, each and every one, because right now there are more than 12,500 accounts to be tracked. What this will do, it will help school boards identify their high-performing schools and boards and also their low-performing schools and boards, and this will provide them with technical assistance so that they can set targets and move forward. We've also hired an incentive program advisor to assist boards in the variety of incentive programs that are out there. We know that boards are busy educating our students, and this incentive program advisor will help with the paperwork and applications on behalf of boards so that working in conjunction with the utility consumption database, this will allow officials to assess the direct impact of incentive funding on their energy usage. Finally, we are well on our way in a Green Schools project. We have a committee that's been working on the development of green cleaning products in schools, and they are in the process of developing a comprehensive green clean resource strategy, a reference manual, and we're anticipating that that will be available for all school boards by December 2009. So what does this all mean? Between 2003 and 2009, we've built more than 400 new schools. They're either 2009, it's not finished yet. So more than 400 schools are built or under construction or are in the design stage. New projects in 86 municipalities across the province. We also have funded 13,000 renewal projects, and we have added a number of classrooms in elementary schools to support the government's commitment to primary class size caps of 20 or less students. And finally, I have 2 examples of recently constructed Northern Ontario schools with environmentally friendly design features. The first one is the Valley View Public School in Sudbury. This was opened in September 2008. It has a number of innovative features, but in the interest of time, I will not read all of them, but just to say that the most amazing thing about this school is that it is spending the same amount in its utility cost as older schools, but the new school is 60% bigger. It has longer hours of operation, and it delivers 100% of the ventilation for the school, and it has an energy performance index that is 62% lower when compared to the base reference. So this is a school that school board officials are justifiably proud of. And the next school is in Thunder Bay, Superior Collegiate and Vocational Institute, just opened in September. It has a number of features as well, as you can see, and this is the future of schools in Ontario. So with that, I think I've got us almost exactly back on time. Thank you so much for the invitation to attend and be able to talk about our Green School strategy.